Hello and welcome. My name is Lisa. You are watching One Lisa Show, and I am one of the featured vloggers for Sew Frugal 24. And that's what this episode is all about, is the Sew Frugal challenge this year. Now, this is the 4th year Sew Frugal has been running. I'm not going to spend a lot of time describing the challenge. You make something with fabric from your stash, or you get creative and you don't buy fabric. You use a free pattern, and when they say free, it means free to anybody. Or you make up your own pattern, but you don't go out and buy a new pattern. And then on the last day of March, you post your make, you tag the creators of the challenge, Sam from Frugalissima or Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl. You tag them both. Post it on Instagram on the 31st of March, and there's an opportunity for you to win lots and lots of prizes. I believe there are over 40 prizes. It is open to everybody across the whole world. And you just have to make a garment. Now, not an accessory, a garment. It could be for a child, it could be for a man, it could be for a woman, it could be a dress, it could be a shirt, it could be pants. It's pretty limitless. Not an accessory. That's the key, Ruan says. I am one of today's featured vloggers. The other featured vlogger, if you don't know her, please go check out her channel. It is the Yorkshire Sew Girl, Ruan, who is one of the hosts of this challenge. She has cultivated, with Sam from Frugalissima, a massive amount of prizes. They have made tons of graphics, and they've been doing this for a few years now. This is their 4th year. And I will say I have entered every year, and I have had a lot of fun. I'm wearing last year's make. I think this was last year's make. This is the plantain tee. It is from Deer and Doe Patterns. So this is going to be one of the patterns I'm talking about today. And the reason why I chose to wear this and talk about it is because when people say they don't have a stash, you can get creative. This was scraps sewn together of different knit fabrics. And when I say different, there are some thin jerseys with very little stretch, and then there's some interlock knits that have sparkles on them with lots of stretch. And if you hear that barking, that is Miss Moneypenny. If you haven't seen my show, she joins me quite often, and even if she's not seen, she is heard. We're going to talk for a minute. We're having some work done to the house. Penny was barking, and she's not going to stop. So Penny, say hi to the world, because there's a lot of new viewers today. That's Penny. She hates the camera, but she loves the attention. There will be links to all of the patterns I mention, and any of the vloggers I talk about, they will all be tagged down below in the description box. First things first, let's talk about some patterns. I had patterns that I have made or I have already printed up, so the hardest part is already done. Some of them have been tried and true, like this plantain tee. Others I've made once or not at all. But I had printed them up because I thought about them. So I'm going to share those with you. And I have a bonus pattern that shouldn't cost you anything except time to watch the video on how to do it. And that I will share with you. And then a couple of my fabrics that have been in my stash for too long and they need to be used. And I want to share that with you as well. I put a lot of my patterns in clear envelopes so I can see. This is a free pattern from Maison Fauve. It is the Tilda blouse. I've talked about it this year, I think, in past videos that I want to make it. I have printed it. I have traced it. It is a free pattern on their website, and it has variations of a short sleeve, a long sleeve with a gathered cuff. It has wonderful pleat details. And I will insert some line drawings if I can do so and find them online. But this is a really beautiful, delicate looking pattern. So I want to try to make this. It does not have bust starts. I believe it's like an intermediate pattern. But again, it's free. And some of these independent pattern companies post free patterns because they want you to get an idea if you like their designs, their fit, and level of instruction, because every independent pattern maker is different. I wish, and who knows, maybe they do, but some of the big fours, maybe they do it, but I haven't seen it. Next up is another tried and true that I have printed over and over, and as you can see, this is scrap paper, like I print them on the back end of flyers for homes that I don't need anymore. and then I tape them together. But this is the Do It Better Yourself DIBYABB I think I talk about it every year. It is the Anything But Basic tee. It has patterns versions for men, women, and children. I have made this for myself. I think that was also a Sew Frugal challenge make of mine. I also have made it for my nieces, and I keep printing up a new one and as they grow. So in the past few years, I have made this so many times. I love it. It's a great basic pattern. Again, that's another one if you want to turn it into a t-shirt dress. It's really easy to do. So I have done that for my nieces as well. I just extend it out. I measure them so I have an idea how long I'm going to extend it. And I give it just a slight flare and extend it out. And it's super easy peasy. One other item that I was going to make for a Sew Frugal challenge and never got around to it was a free pattern from Peppermint Magazine, and it was written by Pattern Runway. It is the gathered sundress. I'm going to show some pictures. This one doesn't have the largest size range. I believe their largest size is a 44. I'm going to tell you I am larger than the largest size. With that in mind, and I'm going by the bust size, with that in mind, I still want to try it and see. I might be able to grade it up a little bit to fit me if I need to, but that is a pattern that has always struck out. I've printed it up, I cut it out, taped it together, and yet never made it. So it's high time I give it a whirl and give it a try, especially with spring coming. It's a cute gathered sundress. It is sleeveless, it has pockets, and it is something that I think could be done very tastefully if you are patchworking some of your scrap fabrics together. Mood Fabrics has a website where they share a ton of free patterns. I feel like I need to share a mood pattern with you. Mood Fabrics website for their free patterns is called the Mood Society. They have a jumpsuit. So if you do have a lot of fabric, a piece that's pretty big, I'm recommending the fern jumpsuit. I have not made this, but I'm going to show you the line drawings. It is very chic. I love how it has gathered leg cuffs and straps for the front shoulders. I just think it's sharp and could be a perfect spring and even summer make. And I think if you had a blazer, that would be a great work outfit. I almost forgot. I have one more pattern I wanted to talk about. It is completely free. It's one I've never made. I don't even have it printed, but when I found it, I fell in love with it. It is the Sorbetto top by Seamwork. This is a free pattern. They actually have two different top options on their website that you could download and print up for free. I have never made a pattern, a Seamwork pattern. I can't speak too much to it, but I will say it struck me. I thought it had a nice detail similar to the Tilda blouse. There is like a box pleat in the front that runs all the way down the center front, whereas there's tiny little pleats in the Tilda blouse. I found this pattern and thought, how did I never see this? Because this is another one where it could be dressed up for work, for play, casual. You could look fancy casual. That makes sense because I roll fancy casual and then I roll super over the top loungewear casual. I think it would look good, and it can be something that fits all seasons because there's a long sleeve option, there's like a tank or a tunic option, and then a short sleeve option. Now let's get into a free pattern that you shouldn't even have to waste any paper, any printer ink, or anything like that, and it is the circle skirt. The circle skirt is a very simple skirt to make. There are a handful of vloggers that have posted videos on how to DIY it without a pattern. And actually, if you wanted to, there is a pattern, and I want to say it's Megan Nielsen has. It's called the Veronica skirt, which is a pattern if you did want to print one up for a circle skirt, and it is available for knit and woven fabrics, and it is an easy printable pattern that you can sign up on their website and get access to. I highly recommend that pattern. I think the circle skirt, whether you do a full circle skirt, a half circle skirt, I think they are a 3/4 circle skirt. It is a timeless article of clothing. It looks good on all body types and body styles. But I think it's classic, and no matter what, if you have no hips, if you have very curvy hips, no matter what your body shape is, you will always look put together in a circle skirt. I am going to suggest Kittenish Behaviour. She has a couple of DIY videos about circle skirts. Marcy, Harriell, she is so fun to watch. So if you have never seen her videos, definitely check them out. But she has one where you don't need a pattern. She kind of talks about how to measure it out, where to cut the opening, how to fold the fabric, and how to make a basic circle skirt. And then also Gertie. If you have been sewing for a while, Gertie does a lot of vintage inspired makes and makes patterns as well, but she also has a tutorial on her YouTube channel on circle skirts. Finally, because I like to keep my videos relatively short, and if you haven't noticed, I talk with my hands, there are a couple of fabrics that I've been eyeing around. They're very spring-like. They've been sitting in my stash for well over a year, some of them 2 or 3 years, and I think it's high time I work on them. First up is this very simple jersey, and it was gifted to me from my sister. I made some stuff out of it, and I still have a huge amount of this left. It is a knit fabric, and I think she got this from Joann's. It is really cute, springy, very up my alley with the colorway, and I do have quite a lot of this left. I think I've made a couple of things with it already, but I have a lot of this. So I could do a plantain tee. I could do a nightshirt from the plantain tee because it's a very soft, comfy fabric. I'm also curious if I could do that jumpsuit out of this because I think that would be pretty cool looking. I have some yellow fabric. It's actually like a goldenrod. And I believe I have 1.5 meters of this, which I think would be enough. And it is a woven. I think this is a woven viscose. It's just a solid goldenrod. It's from Minerva. I've had it for quite some time. Originally, I was going to make a dress for my niece. And something, I don't know, I never got to it. She hasn't bugged me about it since. I think it would also qualify for the Sew Yellow for Endo Challenge, which I also am vlogging about next week. So I'll talk more about that then. But this Tilda blouse would look really pretty in that. And then the other fabric I have would also be a good Tilda blouse. This was in a Minerva grab bag. If you've never done a Minerva grab bag, I highly suggest. It's a lot of fun because you don't know what you're going to get, and it's relatively cheap. Sometimes I get things I don't want, or I don't get big enough cuts of different fabrics, but basically it's like 5 meters of fabric for basically 10 pounds. It's a great deal. They mix and match till you have the 5 meters of fabric. So this is one of them. It is a shirting, so it's nice, lightweight woven cotton. It does have some lurex, some sparkly lurex that's poking through in the lines. And it's not necessarily my colorway. I think I've mentioned this because I'm always trying to get rid of it. It's either I de-stash it or I use it. This could also be a great jumpsuit from Mood Fabrics. So this could also be a great jumpsuit, I think, going vertically. It could also be a nice blouse as well. I tried to keep it short because I know there's so many vloggers doing videos, and I'm sure others are going to suggest the same patterns I have, and that's quite all right. But I just want to get your creative juices flowing, and hopefully I did so. If you haven't checked out yesterday's vloggers, I'm going to post up the screen of vloggers now, so make sure you check yesterday's if you haven't seen them, and also tomorrow's vloggers. I hope there's Penny. I hope this inspires you to make something and enter the Sew Frugal 24 challenge. Again, I will make sure all the details are in the description box. Thank you. It has been a pleasure to be a part of this challenge every year. And good luck. Good luck. Let me know if this has helped or if you've made any of these projects. Thanks so much for watching. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I will see you later. Bye-bye.